Hey creatives, you're in for a special treat today because I have an amazing interview with Renae Christine, and we are only talking about how to sell planners, and not just on how to sell planners on Etsy, just how to be awesome and take over this industry and sell 1,000,000 planners. Now, if you've never heard of Renae Christine, that is just crazy. Stop what you're doing right now, or maybe after this interview, and go check her out. Check out her channel. She has a free training. I will leave that link below. All she does is help women to sell homemade goods. I guess I shouldn't say women, just help people who want to sell homemade goods. And I think she was really a huge expert on Etsy at first, but she's expanded. She talks about your own website, what you can do to compete with everybody else out there right now who is selling planners. And the best part is Renae used to have a stationery store, so she is not speaking just metaphorically or hypothetically. She actually did this. So let's go ahead and check that out. Hi, Renae.
Hello.
So if you don't know about Renae, I can't believe how you possibly could. So if you don't, you're going to learn everything about her, and you're going to be 1,000 times better off just for having known her. And then if you're like me, you're going to just not be able to stop looking at all of her YouTube videos forever.
You're so nice, Lisa. You're awesome.
Thanks. All right. Well, why don't you just tell us more about you and Cupcake Trainings?
Sure. So I'm Renae Christine, and in 2006, I had a stationery shop, and I grew it to 6 figures, and everyone kept asking me, like, how do you do it? How did you do it? How did you do it? So finally, I relented and started a YouTube channel in 2012, where I have now over 3 million views now on my YouTube channel. And that just grew and grew. And then everyone said, we want more, we want more. So that blossomed into cupcaketrainings.com, where I have like pro universities and stuff that people can also do, kind of like school, where you can take the big course and kind of do it step by step. So that's how that came about.
Cool. And I don't want to get anyone confused. There's Cupcake Trainings and then there's Titan University, right?
Handmade Titan University, yes.
Okay. And are they separate, or people want to do both?
Sure. So Cupcake Trainings is just my website, like my hub with everything on it, including all my free trainings and a fun like handmade personality quiz, just the hub. And then Handmade Titan University opens once a year every March. And that's just a very separate thing. But yeah, that's like the main marketing university.
I love that you did stationery, and I think you're the perfect person to answer this question on planners. So I help people with planners, and what's your take on that and niching? And is it oversaturated? Because when you go into Etsy, there's so many results that come up for planners.
So first of all, I am definitely biased towards planner makers, because I myself am like paper planner snob and swoon over like letterpress, beautiful planners, planner stickers, and all of that. So I am right there with all of you on that. As far as oversaturation, sometimes it's easier to get into an oversaturated market than trying to carve out a new market, because you don't have to educate anybody on anything. Everybody knows what it is, and people are already searching for it. So even though it's oversaturated, you can always find your unique spin to put on it and to like 10 up it, I call it, to for the competition.
So let's talk about luxury high-end planners, because you're thinking, I just want to charge high-end. I see Prada, I see, a lot of really nice brands that look about the same, but they're charging really high prices. Do you think Etsy is still a good platform if you're trying to take that approach?
So my take on Etsy has always been like, it's okay to start on Etsy, and it's okay to always use Etsy as a traffic platform. But as far as selling goes, you're always better off to have your own website as early as you can, just because you want to continue to funnel people to your own website and email list as fast as possible, because then they're not going elsewhere for the competition on Etsy. Now, having said that, like, you could totally have your own website and funnel the traffic through your email list. And I just have to say real quick, I get a lot of people like, how do you do that? Because you can't say your website on Etsy and all of that. Totally okay. You don't have to list your website. But when people do place an order through your Etsy shop, a lot of my followers, who I call besties, they will message that person and say, do you want like a discount? I'll refund it if you get on my VIP email list. And they're like 99% of the time, the person's like, refund discount, totally cool. And then they get on your email list, and it's on that email list that they will forevermore market their website. So Etsy kind of gets cut out of the picture that way and is used as a traffic source. Having said that, your website is probably always a better way to go high end. Even if you're always using Etsy, having that website establishes you as that high end in the first place. But getting orders on Etsy, you definitely need to like own the high end niche if you're going to go high end. Like you have to try to reach the people who actually change that little search to search from highest price to lowest price. And so you actually have to show value right away in that picture with your planner so people can see, because all they're going to see in the search results is your planner and the price in that one picture. And that's your only shot to grab that market. So you have to make sure that picture matches that luxury feel, but also shows the value in paying that price right up front. It's hard, but it's definitely doable.
So in my binge watching on your YouTube channel, you had a million genius bombs for me. But the biggest one was you were saying if you are going to market yourself as high end, and I want to make sure I'm saying this right, you need to educate your buyers on why you're high end and, why you're charging these higher rates. So can you kind of, segue into that with planners and how that would maybe apply to this industry?
Sure. So I love specifically that we can talk about a specific industry because I can get really into a lot of awesome details here, especially knowing stationery. High-end planners, people are going to expect the paper to be thicker. They're going to expect like ink not to bleed through the paper. They're going to expect a certain, maybe even a texture to the paper. Maybe it's cotton, maybe it's linen, but you can't, when you think of a luxury planner versus like a really, really cheap planner at the dollar store, you instantly think of like the paper inside and the binding also. Does it have like the rings? Do the rings fall apart? What kind of system is it? Is it easy to use? Is it easy to open? Like you may not think of this at first, but when you think of like a luxury product like the iPhone, how easy is it to open that box when you first see it, They don't make it so it's like locked and loaded or you have to get the scissors out or anything like that. You have to think about that when doing the high-end planners as well as the actual packaging for the planners. Is it easy to open? Does it feel good to open it? What kind of experience are you putting in the packaging as well as the actual product itself? All of those things have to go into it. Like no thought. Like there's no what I call can't I just moments where you're like, I'm making this product, but can't I just get like this box at Clear Bags and throw it in and, whatever. Can't I just, if you're going high end, there are no can't I justs in it.
Bundles. This was a really great video where you said, you should bundle things together like a hanging kit if you're selling art. What are some great bundles you really wish people would start selling for planners?
Oh, I love bundles, especially for planners. And there's two ways you could take this with planners. I talk a lot with my hands so that you'll understand. Okay, so there are the bundles with the accessories. So there's the stickers, there's the bookmarks, really pretty bookmarks. There's the little charms that you could put on top. Bundles, I usually consider 3 or more. So it doesn't have to be a big bundle with like 10 different things, but you could do different sizes of bundles. You could do a planner, some stickers, and a charm, or a planner, stickers, bookmark, and charm. Like you can continue to add things to the bundle and sell it that way. Or you can do like a system, and I'm sure you've seen like planner systems where there are, the binder is actually separate from the inserts, or the actual, there's just different clicky things that go in it. Clicky things. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Components and stickers, yeah.
The different components, like little pockets that click into it with it. So that's more of like a system. So you can have like a planner with all of those components already in it, bundled with the accessories, or the bundle itself can be like here's the binder, here's the inserts, here's the other components going with it. And you can add the other accessories to it. But yeah, that definitely helps a lot. And I hear a lot of besties say like, I like this planner because it's a system and I can always rely on that system. So every time there's a planner release, they're always the same size. The components always work with it. And keeping that consistency is a huge deal with planner snobs. I know that. makes people loyal to that one planner brand.
Right. So every year you do a shout out to Pantone's Color of the Year. And this year it was ultraviolet. So what's your take on that with planners and where you're using it or not using it?
So I love the Pantone Color of the Year. Things are selling like crazy. It seems to be like the wedding color of the year as well. Like every wedding seems to be in that color this year. However, I have seen a huge spin off this blue color that kind of matches it. I have my nails in it. I don't know if you can see, but it's kind of like a light powdery blue that seems to be like the in color that's actually selling. So the ultraviolet, super important to have, but that light powdery blue seems to be in every product line and everybody seems to be buying it as well. So sometimes those other colors like overshadow the color of the year in sales, but I always try to have the color of the year in there as well. And people will actually search, like I've actually searched on Etsy, ultraviolet this or ultraviolet this to actually find, and you'd be surprised that like that particular market is super unsaturated. Not a lot of people do that, but a lot of people search for it.
So the Bestie Mall is the best. So how, if people are interested, well, first, I guess, tell people what the Bestie Mall is and how they could be featured if you're going to do that again in the future.
So the Bestie Mall, I believe it's bestiemall.com, is a handpicked, curated shop for around the holidays for all besties. Like I have 100,000 besties on my email list who love to shop for other bestie products. So the Bestie Mall is like hand curated and hand picked invitations only to some of the best shops that we've seen throughout the year. And it's all curated in one shop for other besties to shop. Where we look for these certain shops are people who are in Handmade Titan University and those who use the hashtag ZBesties. That's ZBesties on Instagram. So we will actually send out private invitations to those who we feel would do well in the Bestie Mall. But one of the requirements is that they have to have an actual product line launching around that time. So a lot of people, if they don't do product lines or they're like, well, I just throw stuff up, they don't have like an actual product line, like a collection, then that kind of takes them out of the running.
Okay, good point. So let's, if it's okay, just an add-on question for those who are newbies. And what is a product line versus just throwing some products that they think might match?
Sure. So you guys have all been in the mall. You've all seen like Bath and Body Works say like, this is our summer collection or our summer lemonade collection. It's very much the same thing. And it gets you so much, it's so much shareable buzz. And it's what gets you the press when you're like, how does that bestie over there get into all the newspapers? This is what does it, is you have to actually put together a cohesive product line of like 10 products and name it and market around that product line. So I do have a training on that free at freehandmadetraining.com that shows you how to build that product line step by step and shows you what colors that you need in there and the price ranges and everything to help you to make like a best-selling product line first time.
So what's your best advice when, I guess I checked on Etsy, when I put in planners, I received 650,000 results. And we said this is still a good thing because people clearly want planners. What can they do to stand out?
Well, there's the obvious continued treadmill of SEO. But besides that, I wouldn't just rely on Etsy anymore. It's clearly oversaturated, and the free traffic of social media, it only goes so far. Personally, I would learn how to do really, really cheap ads on Instagram and Pinterest, maybe a little bit of Facebook, but I would do as planner-based Pinterest and Instagram first. You can get super, super cheap ads on there and click it through to your best sellers. Don't put up ads for anything that like doesn't sell very well. And don't think like, oh, I already have an ad up for this bestseller. Like put lots of ads up for that bestseller. Make the different graphics for different pages of that planner because you never know which one's going to hit, but make sure it's your bestseller because that is what is going to stand out. And then it will only cost you pennies to bring in those sales. And that will, in turn, Etsy seeing those obviously will boost you up in that SEO as well. But the days of like Etsy getting you the traffic is like, don't rely on that anymore.
And that's such a good point. You say this all the time in your videos, you know, take your bestseller and push that, because I know the tendency for a lot of people are, it's selling just fine, I'm going to push this loser product that no one is buying, right? And so what's the theory behind that versus trying to push something that's not moving?
There's something psychological. Even if on your ad you even put the words bestseller, like in a little banner in the corner or a little star graphic that says like bestseller, with that, there's something psychological for people saying like, I don't want to miss out. What is everybody else getting in on that I'm not?
Mm-hmm.
So that helps the ads, that helps people click through to your shop. You have to remember, when people are seeing ads, that's all they see. So all you want them to do with the ad is click through to your shop. And the bestsellers, if it's selling on your shop, that's clearly what's going to help them click through, because that's what they're engaging in already. So you want to do more of that instead of pushing other products or just saying, wow, I have 100 products, I'm going to make them all ads. Just focus. Think of it like a funnel. One bestseller, you can make 100 ads of that bestseller and people will click through.
Had a really great video on the marketing example, right? So people aren't going to keep buying it over and over again. So what type of marketing strategy is best for a dated planner? Just because, I don't know if I'm doing the analogy right, but you know what I mean? Like, people aren't going to buy 2018 planners from you.
Absolutely. You definitely want to do accessories to go with it and bundle things and do the different components. That's probably why most planner companies, like Staples has like a components system thing that I know a lot of besties like. You got to do the system and with the components in it, and probably sell them separately. Try to get them to buy those 28 components instead of just like the 28 planners from you. Mm-hmm. And then keep in mind though, you guys are lucky, because if they love your planners, they're going to come buy it annually. And there aren't a lot of industries where they'll do that. So if you get them to buy it once and they love it, they're going to continue to buy it every year.
Okay, cool. Are you ready for the speed round?
Okay.
All right. First one, Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
Mac or PC?
Although I might be changing if iPhone doesn't like step up their game.
All right. Mac or PC?
Mac.
And ice cream or frozen yogurt?
I'm lactose intolerant.
Okay.
So soy ice cream.
Soy ice cream. Got it. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Awesome. All right, you guys, this is like so valuable, you don't even know, because one, you've missed the university enrollment, which was in March. So this is invaluable information. Plus, Renae knows everything. Like, you could just sit there and literally watch her channel, and like an hour later, you'll be able to sell better and make more money.
That's awesome. Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, by the way.
Thanks for being here. All right. Bye.